think it's one of the reasons Dabo Swinney, when he talks about him, says, hey, this guy will play in the NFL one day. Thinks he'll get drafted. Obviously a unique situation here, but Chase Brice has handled it well.
Rolling right. Looking for the end zone. Incomplete pass.
For his 15th year. That is Spector going to the corner, a young freshman wide receiver that they really like. It's actually an excellent thrown ball by Chase Brice. Puts it right on his hands.
So Dabo Swinney beginning to go to his bench here on opening night. And the keep. Out close to the 45-yard line by Chase Brice. To work in progress. That's Ngata finally getting one on that far left. A 42-7 lead for the champions. Looking for the end zone. Touchdown!
Georgia Tech takes the coverage, which means it's Swilling man-to-man on Frank Ladson. He gets over the top, but there is no defense for a perfect throw, which that was by Chase Brice.
Recruited who have found a home here. Not the highest recruits in the land. Well, a great class expected in 2020. Brice keeping his footing, cuts back to the center. Now they have Texas A&M coming up, and then Syracuse right after them. Brice to pass. Powell approaching 7 minutes to play. And he'll fire it and complete. Brice going long. Off the fingertips of Powell.
It's a good job by Powell. He's able to stack on top of Sims, the transfer that's newly into the lineup, and that's one there. Listen, if you can get one hand on it, you can get two on it. I think Chase is like, hey, man, come on.
And you look forward to getting back to the film room and continuing to learn and grow.
There's Brice taking off running.
Well, in a game you called in the fourth quarter and had to find a way to come back and win the game. And he converted in a big way.
He's airing it out deep and just a little too long for Cornell Powell.
No. Right.
And I want to fully say it was the biggest play, but I mean, I think it's one of those that, you know, lives forever in Clemson history. And Trevor Lawrence will be back next year because he's not eligible for the NFL draft. He is pressured. He steps up and fires incomplete. Intended for Joseph Ngata.
Been the starter. And, you know, this is a great opportunity to play in the first half with a lot of starters for Chase Brice.
He's going to keep it and run it for the first. He'll keep it, look to throw, dumps it off short. And a catch made by Dixon. On the move, it's the coach's kid, Will Swinney. On the fake. For the end zone. Incomplete. Wants to throw again. To the corner. Tie up and flag coming on that one. No, the interference.
That's the right call. Rogers does a great job. Ball's a little bit underthrown. He's running out of real estate. And rather than about it, Dave, we've been here twice, you know, to call games, and you've described it as, you know, one of the most exciting moments in sports leading up to an event.
Brice 6'2", about 230 pounds. Very talented quarterback in his own right. Fires and incomplete. But a flag down. Going to be interference.
At it. You know, the halftime isn't forever. You have one take, so
yeah,
no tripping.
Quarterback will keep it and close to the 5-yard line.
Will Healy is exactly right. I think a lot of people knew what the result was going to be in this football game, but you want the energy, the enthusiasm, the effort.
Nice. 11-10 to go in the third. Brice to pass and hits Price, the tight end. And it takes a whole league of players to bring him down. First players into the game. The Tigers did. 91 players. There were like over 150 guys who got into that contest. He's going to be flushed out and sacked. He's taken down by Highsmith.
One up here by Chalk, but it's not there. Charlotte does a great job of covering it. And so now all of a sudden Chase Brice doesn't have anywhere to go with the football. And it's Highsmith who just continues with great.
So 2nd and 22. He's going to throw it. Throwing long to the receiver and the catch and a touchdown. And Ngata.
You just look at Ngata. He's big and physical. Going against Osborne, who Charlotte feels is like an SEC caliber player, and he's just no match. Ngata's just strength.
Off season intact, so he is beloved here in Death Valley.
Brice completes.
I think it was for Kelly Bryant to leave the program because Trevor Lawrence gets hurt. He would have been playing in that game.
Brice will take a shot down the field. TJ Chase, the intended target. A flag comes in.
Gonna throw this on Renardo Green, the true freshman corner.
Pass interference. Brice to throw. Trying to go a little back shoulder to Ngata. My daughter and her friends went home and started reading a book. And that went viral, if you will, on the internet. Brice will take a shot. They've gotten the quitters out of the program late last season into this season. Well, it's just not showing up on the field here today, where they are clearly.
Robert Cooper is a sophomore, and so you're going to get Durden back. There's some pieces to build around defensively.
They like Gainer, too. Taking it. That's Dukes in the backfield. Brice stepping up. And we'll get a couple.
Call it reverting back to the old style of defense, what he felt comfortable with, and that's not what he wanted to do.
4th and 8, and Clemson still going for it.
Whoopsie. I had no idea how the team was going to respond to adversity, and when they were in a tight ball game on the road against Carolina, to find a way.
Quarter game where the outcome had not been decided. So think about that. So opportunity to learn, to grow, face some adversity.
First ones to win the college football playoff national championship being undefeated. So for them to do it 3 years in a row would be amazing.
Yeah, Penn State has struggled in some spots. They trailed Buffalo at halftime. So interest fell in law with Florida State football. Thoughts on some prospects for him, Todd?
He's their best interior pass rusher. And you look in the NFL right now, and it's really...
Well, listen, I think the South Carolina, generally speaking, risen up and beaten the teams that they were doubted when compared to. Brice with a throw to the sideline.
Just so much fun with this team.
The thing that makes football, reap the reward of your work and then enjoy that. And I think that's outstanding that Dabo emphasizes that for their program. Flag out as Brice hoists one. Anybody else that's going to be that litmus test game. You know, Notre Dame plays Michigan. Right. That's a bad.
And it seems like he's got the ability to respond to it on a season level as well.
Right. They believe he is incredibly mentally tough.
Bit of an anomaly. And so that plays into it as well.
I also wonder, however, as Chase Brice is now in the ball game, the backup quarterback, he's looking to run it across the 20. And he will scamper ahead, take the hit, but he'll pick up the...
You know, their standard of play and how they play and not what everyone else is saying.
He keeps talking about, you know, there's a lot of football in front of them. Quick pass here to Powell. Powell able to bust a tackle and gain a little more than a week anyway.
And I think it's going to be hard as we watch Powell just get all kinds of separation on a slant. Like a Tennessee or a school like that, some of those brand name schools, you know, maybe aren't as good as people think they are. And if they were playing in the ACC, you know, wouldn't look all that different.
Or not necessarily the fact that Clemson won the football game, but they won it in such dominating fashion. Long pass to the end zone and incomplete.
What an awesome throw by Chase Brice. He's got Lynjay Dixon on John Lamont. We talked about Lamont in coverage, 240-pound middle linebacker. That's a matchup Clemson likes.
6'2", 230-pound sophomore in the pocket, throwing again, and broken up. He showed up in the North Carolina game which they won. And you wonder if they're also paying for what was a road victory, by the way. I do remember that vividly. Frencher on the toss.
It keeps them energized throughout the marathon of the season.
Brice to go airborne and going deep and overthrown.
Because they know they're going to get an opportunity, and he thinks it helps them play their best football late.
Well, it certainly happened last year, didn't it? As they were playing their best at the very end. You know,
Bell was still a good guy in coverage, and
looks good now.
He looks great now and was a great player. And as you said, Dave, what a response from. You just think about what a recruiting tool it is to have, you know, kids come visit the school.
Allen hauls out not only for the football, the environment, the culture here. The restaurants are pretty darn good too, and we've found most of them on our 3 trips, or certainly a lot of them. That one in
some close ones, and obviously it was a close one today with North Carolina and Duke.
That one decided on an interception. Overton heading for the end zone. He is in for a touchdown.
Well, he's fulfilled a nice role for this football team, and you know, a lot of people believe that he could be a starter elsewhere.
Flag on the play as Sweeney goes out of bounds. Combined for over 400 yards. And even though early on Dillon had some very good carries and some healthy gains, and one very memorable one, this one a long bomb, but that's going to be incomplete, intended for Ladson. They never.
How he's kind of asserted a leadership role in the running back room with those guys, and you know, because of the great wide receivers and quarterback.
It's hard to believe. You know, a guy had 192 yards rushing.
So I took it off. You didn't feel bad about it. You loved it. It called you a meathead. You're like, yeah, that's right. That's why I wore this costume. New quarterback. Freshman touches, and really the only question is which true freshman do you want a red shirt, and that sometimes dictates later in the season which guys get playing time and which don't.
Powell with a heck of a catch. Nice throw, too. It's on the first down for the Tigers. Great hands.
Yeah, really good catch, Rady. Along with him to church in the area. They have a new spring church right on campus here. And every single year.
Friendship with him and how much, you know, they've grown together in what they've been able to do on the field, but also, as you mentioned, off the field and his spiritual growth.
Into his decision-making to take this job at all. That pressure at the Sunday dinner table like you talk about.
Been got really nice day for all those in attendance who have served or continue to serve. Chase Brice, quarterback now for the Tigers. Tried to hit Davis Allen. Another true. Brice now under a little bit of pressure. Gets away from it. Gets it complete. That's Dukes. His running back is going to be close to a first down.
Boom.
Brice flushed. He'll carry it. A lot of space in front of him. Utilizes a blocker. Gets down to within 2 or 3 of picking up that first down. Joe Beckett finally ran.
It was a really special moment for me to understand that we are competitors on the field, and we are going to fight as hard as we can against each other when it comes to football.
Buckeyes, Crimson Tide, LSU Tigers. Nice pass by Brice.
Just between being a really good winning football team and developing young men. You can do both, and he does that to the best of his ability, and really some of the best. The factor that's going to lend itself towards Clemson winning or losing that matchup will be the ability of the D-line. He had the ankle injury.
Mac Jones has played well, but it's just different. It's not the same.
Yeah, and he has. And they
same intensity regardless of the opponent. And if they do that, they're going to be tough for anybody, obviously, to beat.
Sweeney makes the catch, and he's knocked down hard. Right. Play action, and Brice zips it up in and out of the hands of Mangata. Backups on offense. Dixon is the back on 3rd and 14. NC State showing a 3-man rush, and they'll drop in coverage and make Brice find somebody open, and it's deflected and near. Dug it up. Thanks to the crew for digging it. Oh, Brice as the ball falls on it.
I saw it too.
Ups here.
You were shimmying there. I didn't know. Were those bleachers you were trying to navigate?
It was a grass bank.
Grass bank, okay.
The guy who I had shoved, I'd sit from the guy. He came crawling back up. He grabbed my leg.
You got aggressive. You know,
from 3, do you just drop them to 4 and keep them ahead of Georgia? Or do you drop them to 5? Do you drop them further to loss, even if those guys just slow down a bit?
2nd and 12. It's a screen into traffic, and Sweeney be wrestled down right near the
17. But a win over Penn State, a top 4 team, and the way they looked playing in that game, I think they'll shoot up in the rankings. I think they'll get into the top 10 from 17.
Brice goes scrambling. He is hit as he goes out of bounds. Brice zips the throw high and off the hand.
When they don't reach that bar, people are critical. And I'm not saying that's fair. I'm just saying that's what I think happens to them. That they just want to play NC State and play these games. But I think everybody's anxious to see Clemson when they get into the postseason.
Brice scrambles and knocked down inside the 5. Well, now they're not going to be ranked outside the top. Brice rolls out, retreats, flips it up into the end zone. He tried to get the ball to the coach's son.
As good as anyone in college football these last 4 weeks.
Blitz off the edge, picked up, and Brice has an easy pitch and catch. First down.
Keep 2 hands on the wheel. Like, they got to accelerate through the finish. Keep 2 hands on the wheel. Don't get comfortable, because that's when the accident happens. When you get kind of build in for their future rest of the season.
Another blitz. It's picked up, and Brice throws a pick. Well diagnosed.
The good just drops underneath. Watch. The right side of the screen is a little comeback to Ngata, and good just
for the ACC title game as they are looking to win their 4th consecutive. As Rencher gets down the sideline, he's in plus territory.
This is the week that we have. This is the one game that we have. Next week will handle itself.
Brice rifles one to the sideline and drops it into Ngata for a first down.
Good moments when he goes in the football game and executes this offense really well.
Pressure and a good decision by Chase Brice.
This team's not going anywhere.
Although he does have a couple of years of eligibility left. So if he hangs in, as he throws one up the seam at the 5 at the goal line, it's Ngata. Is he in? Yes, it's a touchdown.
Little ball fake. Watch Brice flip the hips. Ngata's a big 6'3" receiver. Secured hand catch and then reaching over that goal line. 1,000 yards rushing. How's that for Michigan?
Tremendous. Brice taking a shot down the sideline. Just about dropped it in. Cornell Powell, the intended receiver.
Right. Here's Brice to throw. Down the middle of the field. So I had a Frank Ladson, the true freshman from Miami.
Hopkins, Sammy Watkins, and now Higgins. We got Ross, and now here's the next one. Frank Ladson, Joseph Nada, both in Indianapolis tonight. But yeah, you gonna bet against Trevor Lawrence?
No.
I know what he can do in the playoffs. I'm not.
And then bounces back in that setting. It was amazing.
Ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. Nearly intercepted. It falls incomplete. That's Will from the 4. Brice going to keep it. Chase Brice into the end zone for the touchdown. From the 4. Back to 19. Brice going to keep it. Chase Brice into the end zone for the 55 points by Clemson.
Yeah,
That'd be a lot of fun.
Either one, yeah. I'm just selfishly hoping that we get to see Clemson against both those teams.
Here's Will Sweeney down the sideline showing off the...
Get some snaps for these older players.
He's the first son of a head coach to play at Clemson since Jimmy Howard. Clemson, they mean it. Here's Chase Brice. Right back to Will Sweeney. He's the go-to guy now. Took a pretty good shot in the back. That's his 3rd catch.
A terrific throw from a young quarterback that Dabo Sweeney told us. So, guys, he might be the backup to Trevor Lawrence. He's going to play on Sundays. I think he's that good.
Yeah, and when he comes in the game, they don't change any of their play calling. They stay aggressive with their play calling. They think he is an outstanding player, and he's had a lot of good moments when he's been on the field. Go back to last year in the Syracuse game, but a lot of good moments when he goes in the football game and executes this offense.